What if your greatest tragedy could become the spark that ignites your purpose? Join us as we dive into a story of resilience, healing, and purpose that proves even life's darkest moments can lead to the brightest breakthroughs. Welcome to the new season of PhD with Women on IT Hack the Future. My name is Jamil Navarrosa, and today's PhD Positivity Hack delivered will be by our guest, Danielle Brazant. Our topic for today is Maximizing Your Potential, a Brain Injury Survivor's Guide to Happiness. Episode 192 starts here. Let me remind you, this is a grassroots community that focuses on women in IT, an inclusive forum of women in technology, startups, and female leaders who are supported by men as well. And I bring heart to that hustle because empathy is my mojo, and empathy is critical to maximizing your potential. Before we start our discussion, I want to take a moment to shine a spotlight on some incredible achievements from our community. Catch Cindy Gallop on her keynote at Black Week October 6 to 9 in New York City. Boys, Men, Positive Masculinity, and Why It Matters to Marketers. Ex- Expect fresh insights, bold thinking, and Cindy's unfiltered take on what marketers need to know. Marketers, advertisers, brand builders, influencers, this is for you. Best of luck, Cindy. Congratulations to Heidi Mendez on the successful launch of your new book, Calyadeta No More, a powerful collection of stories woven with Latinx refrains. This book shines a light on identity, leadership, resilience, and reclaiming one's voice in spaces not built for our ambitions. Here to celebrating your su- Here's to celebrating your success, your voice, and the communities you uplift with the incredible work. And lastly, congratulations to all the winners of the Women in Tech North America Awards. Your achievements are breaking barriers, inspiring future leaders, and shaping a more inclusive future in tech. Now, let's go back to our topic, maximizing your potential, a brain injury survivor's guide to happiness. This week on Positivity Hack Delivered, we'll uncover the extraordinary journey of Danielle Brazant, traumatic brain injury survivor, motivational speaker, and author of Maximizing Your Potential, How to Start the Journey Towards True Happiness in Life. After a devastating car accident left her relearning how to walk, read, and even chew, Danielle refused to let her injury define her. Instead, she chose to rise, turning tragedy into triumph and pain into purpose. Through raw honesty and empowering insights, Danielle now helps others reclaim their joy, find meaning in adversity, and discover the power within to heal and grow. From mental recovery to finding success after a life altering event, her story is a testament to human resilience. Please join me giving a warm welcome to Dania. Thank you so much for joining
Yes,
us, Dania.
yes. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I am just honored and excited to be here today.
At the start, where in the world you are today?
I am in the great state of Iowa in the United States of America, in a town called Marion, which is a suburb of a larger city called Cedar Rapids. Yeah, it is 11 a.m. On the dot here, a little bit. Yeah, Central Time, and I understand it's evening time where you're broadcasting from. So we coordinated schedules
Yeah.
well to do this, and I'm excited to be here.
Yes, we are very grateful that you joined us. Can you take us back and share what recovering from your traumatic brain injury was like in those first few weeks?
Yes, it's something I will never forget. I remember the moment I awoke, it's seared into my memory. The moment I awoke from unconsciousness, I was strapped to a bed and I was underneath a tent. They often have brain injury survivors sleep underneath protection so they don't injure their still recovering brain by tossing and turning. So I was secured to a bed and I was underneath this like enclosure and I was terrified. I didn't know what had happened. I'm like, am I in trouble? Like why do I have restraints on my arms and legs? And yeah, it was very, very traumatizing. And then when I awoke, I uh, immediately started like screaming for the nurse. The nurses, CNAs came into my room, reassured me I was fine, urged me to go back to bed. I was so tired at the time. I went back to bed, and over the course of the next few days, I would say 3, 4 days, I slowly learned about what had happened to me, about my car accident, and about my subsequent brain injury after that car accident.
Relearning how to walk, read, and even chew food sounds incredibly challenging. In your rehabilitation, what was the single most difficult part of the process?
The single most difficult part, like you said, yes, I had feeding tubes that were inserted in my body, so I couldn't chew solid food on my own. So the single most difficult part of this process was I'm a very independent person. I like to uh, take care of myself, do things independently, like work apart from others, just get stuff done. Excuse me. So having to rely so much on the support of others was just very something that I was not used to, something that I don't usually do in life. So for me, that would probably be the most difficult. I was literally helpless, you could say. I was in a wheelchair. I wasn't allowed to even feed myself completely because the nurse, the CNA, had to come and administer liquids like water and liquids through my feeding tube because they were worried that I might choke if I drank them myself. So, literally going back from adulthood to almost infancy. That was the most difficult part of my story for me.
Instead of just surviving, you decided to thrive. What was the one thing that drove you the most to succeed and piece your life back together?
Yes, that came. Yes, my parents, my father particularly, may he rest in peace. He passed away several years ago, but my father pushed me. He's like, you can't settle for anything less than what you have would have achieved if this hadn't had happened. You were once a girl that had all these dreams, all these hopes, all these desires to change the world. You're still that person. And if you don't accomplish anything anymore, you have nobody to blame but yourself. It's not the accident, it's not your injury, it is you. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve. I'm paraphrasing. That's what my father told me, and it was very difficult to hear at the time, but it pushed me. It pushed me to not feel sorry for myself, to push myself, to achieve to achieve all the things that I had wanted and start chasing my dreams again. It was a very long and painful process, but after I re-entered the workforce and then I got my independence by just moving back on my own with my own apartment and my own place to stay, and I regained much of that independence. I didn't want to stop. I'm like, okay, I have independence now. What's next? Okay, let me go back to those dreams. So I decided to write the book. From the book, I launched my speaking website. From my speaking website, I am where I am now. I am a public speaker. I'm a public speaker. I speak when and wherever I can, but few and far between nowadays. I have a very successful, very strenuous, time consuming career in sales. So I'm very busy working 45, 50, 55, 6, sometimes 60 hours a week. So I fit in my speaking whenever I can. And in addition, for the past couple of years, I have signed on to become a national fundraiser for the Brain Injury Association of America. And we just had our second annual Brain Injury Gala here in Marion. And we just shattered records. We were the single highest fundraising event for the Brain Injury Association of America, and we established that our inaugural year, the first year we had it, we became the single largest fundraising event for the organization. And then this year we were up 155% in donations, and I'm going to keep building upon that success. And that's how I give back to this important issue. And yeah, I'm at capacity, but it's just overwhelming. It's just a sense of joy to be able to be useful to so many different people and to be able to give back is a privilege. Like people often consider helping or working with others inconvenience, or no, it's a privilege to be in a position where you can help other people.
Finding success after a life altering event is a huge theme in your work. Can you share how your definition of success has changed since the accident?
Yes, because before the accident, I was probably singularly financially focused. I'm like, I want to make $100,000 a year before I turn 30. I was very self-focused and very ambitious, but a lot of that ambition was just focused on my own self, my own success. It didn't encompass others. I always had cared about all these various causes and tried to give back throughout college. I had my accident at the time. I was in my final year of college. So I always cared, but my primary focus was my own ambition, my own career, and my own success. After my car accident, it became about how I could use my experience and my story and my talents to help other people by sharing the story and giving back to the community. So that's the biggest change before and after my accident.
Speaking of your story, you self published Maximizing Your Potential: How to Start the Journey Towards True Happiness in Life. What
Hmm.
was your main motivation for writing this book, and what did you hope to achieve by sharing your story in this way?
My main motivation for writing the book was to share my story, and at the time, I wrote the book with the intent to become a public speaker. I have since launched my speaking website and have spoken around the country here in the United States and internationally on podcasts like this that I'm privileged to be on today. So that was the main purpose of the book, to get my story out there and to share it on larger and broader platforms by speaking. And it was such an experience, such a lesson in dedication. And just even though I knew what was needed to overcome like a horrible obstacle like my car accident, still when I wrote the book, it was just like you had to overcome writer's block and motivation. And I just made myself sit down some nights. I'm like, I'm tired. We'd get home from work. I'm like, no, I don't feel like writing tonight. No, I just forced myself to sit down and write 3 pages a day till I got it done. And I actually had the manuscript stolen from a local library. So I had to rewrite the book, but the rewritten version was even better than when I had first wrote. So it was a lesson in just dedication of its own, writing the book.
Your book description poses the question, what makes me think that I know the secret recipe to true happiness? Without giving it all away, can you give us a small glimpse into what that secret is and how your journey helped you discover it?
So the secret to true happiness, I don't mind just giving a sneak peek. I didn't write the book to make money by getting people to buy it. I don't mind sharing that sneak peek. The secret to true happiness in life is learning the lessons that are needed. And we all have certain lessons that we need to learn to overcome whatever it is that each of us has to struggle with. So the secret to true happiness in life, in my view, is learning the lessons necessary to overcome those challenges that you'll face in life. And in doing so, you'll put yourself on the path towards true happiness. Happiness, true happiness, is not a destination, something you finally wake up or a place you finally land. Oh, I'm happy. No. Happiness is a journey of self discovery, a journey of fulfillment, a journey continuous, a continuous journey that continuously unfolds and leads you to new adventures and leads you to places and paths that you never even thought you may have taken, such as myself in the case before my accident. So that's how I define true happiness. Learning the lessons necessary to overcome the obstacles that you face in life. And in learning those lessons, you'll put yourself on a journey of self discovery, a journey of revelation. And that journey leads you to the path of true happiness in life. And it's so
Uh,
fulfilling.
yes. And looking back at your incredible journey, what does the title of your book, Maximizing Your Potential, mean to you today?
It means like leaving nothing on the table. After I almost died, uh, overcame my period of unconsciousness with my car accident, you could say I had nothing left to lose. I'm just like, I'm going to do everything till I find why I was meant to be here, why I was meant to survive. I had to have a life of purpose after going through what I went through. I just couldn't go on. I couldn't just exist anymore like I had been. I had to have a purpose. And so that's what that title means, like maximizing your potential, how to start the journey towards true happiness in life. Because true happiness, how I define it, is a journey, like I said, a journey of self revelation and self discovery.
Switching gears a bit to talk about careers and entrepreneurship, what advice would you give to females to help their career or start an entrepreneurial journey?
Yes, so I am in sales and I have my own speaking business. Do something you love. That is a must. You have to love it to be able to start your own business, to do it successfully full time and excel in your given career. You have to love what it is you're doing. So make sure you're not doing it for just the money or the glory or something you think may have happened, may happen to you after you pursue something. Do it because you love it. Whatever it is that you're doing, just make sure you're doing it because you love it.
On a related note, in your opinion, what are the top three soft skills all career driven females should have?
Number one is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is so important. You need to know how to respond to certain people so they don't dislike you or get the wrong idea or get the wrong impression. That's so easy to do as a woman. People make assumptions about us and we may say something without thinking. It may hurt somebody's feelings and may trigger a long chain reaction of things that you don't want. So I'm very conscious of how I speak to other people, how I come across, and that's emotional intelligence. So that's the number one skill a career minded female in any industry needs to have. It's important for men too, but it's even more important for us as women. The second soft skill is curiosity. Always be searching for new answers to old questions, new ideas. Always be curious, curious for that next thing. Never become complacent. I myself can become a creature of habit where I like doing things how I do them and I have my routine. But no, like people, my boss at work, they constantly push me. No, Danielle, you continuously have to evolve because nobody is perfect. So always be curious and always be evolving. And the third and final soft skill I think a female needs to have is empathy. You need to just not sympathy, feel sorry for somebody. Sympathy doesn't do anybody any good, but empathy, being able to put yourself in somebody's shoes and see how they feel, that will help you in responding to them and interacting with them. So, emotional intelligence, curiosity, and empathy are the three soft skills.
The core of your work is teaching others to motivate themselves. Can you share a simple positivity hack that our listeners can implement in their lives today to start shifting their mindset toward happiness?
Yes, self motivation. You're absolutely right. I'm a strong believer in that. I don't believe other people can motivate you to do something. You need to motivate yourself. True success comes from that self motivation, when you're self motivated, that's going to lead to perseverance and dedication. Because when things get difficult, when things get just unpleasant, and you don't want to do it anymore, the words of somebody else is not going to get you through those times. You have to motivate yourself to get through those times. And perseverance can only come from within. That's why you have to be self motivated. And a good hack to achieve self motivation is to have goals. I'm a huge believer in goal achievement. I always have a goal. I give myself little benchmarks at work and life. Just, I have to achieve this by such and such time, and I got to do this for this reason. And I don't do anything without a goal. I give myself goals for everything that I do, and that's a good way to be self motivated.
Having shared so much of your journey with the world, you've opened the door for others to share theirs. What has it been like to connect with people who are on similar path, and what have those connections taught you?
It is overwhelming. Like, yes, I'm an open person. I'm an open book. I share my story. A lot of people are private. That's not me. You'll meet me for 2 seconds and I'll tell you my life story. So everywhere I go, I just pour out and tell people my story, what I do, my motivations in life, and people respond to that. I get just an outpouring of people who tell me their own stories, what they're going through, whether or not I even want to hear it. They're willing, more than willing to share. So I find that as I go through life, my openness has just led people to just share with me their own experiences and their own struggles that they're even going through currently, even if they haven't overcome them. They share what it is that they're currently going through and ask my opi- opinions, thoughts, advice. So yeah, that's just one thing that I found.
Oh, speaking of people, none of us are able to achieve success without some help along the way. Is there a particular person who you are grateful towards who helped to get you where you are? And can you share a story about that?
Ultimately, it was my family. My father, who initially, when I was about to give up in those initial days after my brain injury, after my car accident, my father, who pushed me to the point even it was too much sometimes. And then my brother came in and helped me get back in the workforce, helped me find a job. So that's what I needed because my dad was pushing me and I just didn't know how to get better. And my brother's like, just stop feeling sorry for yourself. Like, get off the couch. Like, you need something to do every day. Here, like, apply to this job. And I was hired, and that got my mind off of everything. So my dad pushing me, my brother giving me that helping hand. So ultimately, it begins and ends with my family, who I owe to my success in life.
Your story is a testament to your resilience. What is your strategy for problem solving, and how has that been shaped by your experiences?
My strategy to problem solve, and I think I was kind of a little bit like this before my accident, and it's the car accident has only reinforced how I am naturally. But my strategy at problem solving is I like to talk through issues. I like to brainstorm with other people. I like to get other people's thoughts. I like to talk through things. I'm a very vocal. Obviously, I love to speak. I love to write, over communicate. So, my number one strategy to overcome an issue that I'm facing is just to talk through it with any and anybody, any and everybody who will listen. And even if I can't find anybody who will listen, just talking through it in my own mind will just kind of help me come to a resolution, I've found.
Beyond the big picture, what are some of the small daily habits or routines you rely on to maintain a positive mindset?
The power of positive thinking, first and foremost. You have to always look on the bright side of things. So, as bad as your day is, or was, you have to just tell yourself subconsciously, okay, I'm having, I'm not having a good day, but at least it could have been worse. At least this didn't happen. You always constantly have to look on the bright side. There's always a bright side to everything and in everything. And you always have to find it, find that bright side. That's going to help you stay positive and get through. And then a new day will come, and the new day will always be better eventually, always.
In your book, you empower others to find their purpose. A common struggle, especially for women, is imposter syndrome. What
Mhm.
advice do you have for women who feels this way, and how did you build your own confidence back after your accident?
So, yeah, feeling that you're not deserving of the stuff that you gain in life, that's a common, you're right. That is a common issue for a lot of women, but the number one way to counteract that is just through dedication and hard work. So I know personally how hard it is that I work. I've known how hard it was I had to struggle. I know what it is I overcame. I know what it is I'm overcoming currently. So anything that I achieve in life, I know that it is deserving and it's through the results of hard work. So working hard and staying focused and dedicated is the best way to combat imposter syndrome.
How has your perspective on what if scenarios changed, and what would you tell to your younger self about living in the present?
This is advice that I still need to take. I am constant a constant plan B person. Like I like to have a plan for the what ifs. So I'm like, okay, I know that I'm going to do this. This is going to happen, but what if it doesn't work out how I want it to? So I need to have that plan B. So I'm not sure that I'm qualified to answer this question because I don't totally live in the present. I'm constantly thinking about the future, my plans, and what the mistakes that I have made or the actions that I have done that have led me to the present. So I don't entirely live in the present. So I'm not sure if I'm qualified to answer this because I always have a plan B.
Reclaiming your joy can feel overwhelming, and your story is very inspiring. How
Mhm.
has sharing your journey with others to speaking and writing help you with your own continued healing?
Yes, sharing your story is the best way. It's such meditation to share with others because when you share with others, you're gonna hear the other struggles that other people have to go through, the other stories. Everyone has a story. Everybody has something that they have to overcome in life. And sharing your own story will unlock those stories of other people to you and just help you propel you to the next level.
And you talk so much about the physical recovery. What about the mental and emotional side of things? How has your view on mental health evolved on your journey to happiness?
So yeah, so the physical recovery, as difficult and painful as that was, I was in a wheelchair, I had feeding tubes, it's painful. And as difficult as that physical recovery was from my brain injury, far what was far more difficult was the emotional and the mental recovery. Just not letting myself, because I did become situationally depressed. And that's what my father had to push me through, that situational depression. So, not allowing myself to wallow in my own despair and not becoming enveloped with self pity. That was a huge mental challenge. I had scholarships. I was the top of my class. Had all these plans before my car accident, and I had it when I was a college student once again. And then after my car accident, I had no apartment, no job, no money. I had to move back home with mom and dad, and just sometimes thinking of all I had lost in that accident was overwhelming and very depressing. So, not allowing myself to get sucked in and to get lost in that depression was the biggest challenge. And like I said, through family, through getting back in the workforce with the help of my brother, just something every day that I could do to get my mind off of the current struggle that I was going through. So, my best advice to somebody who's going through a struggle is don't allow yourself to constantly dwell on it. Do something every day that gets your mind off of whatever it is that you're facing. You can't dwell in your own struggles. It's very unhealthy, very dangerous, even to your mental health.
Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "Women are like tea bags. We don't know our true strength until we are in hot water." In life, how are you in hot water, Danielle? How are you
Oh,
brewing?
constantly. Constantly. I always like to push the envelope. Even today, every day at work, I'm just something about me is infamous. Like I'm always going to push the envelope as far as it can go. I'm going to see how far I can take things. And sometimes that pushing of the envelope, particularly in career wise with bosses and managers that we have to deal with and navigate through that pushing of the envelope does land you in hot water. But for me, that's a lesson still, a lesson that's worth learning constantly because I still want to see how far I can take things in life and how far I can go in order to accomplish what I want to accomplish a goal. If I have a goal that I want to accomplish and I want to do something, I'm going to pretty much do whatever it is I need to do legally and ethically and morally and within the confines of regulations and rules within the workforce or wherever. I'm going to do whatever I can within those confines to accomplish my goals. And that sometimes will land you in hot water. Not everybody is as driven. Not everybody wants to see you succeed.
What is the number one book you can sit and think, "Oh, I wish I read before I started my career"?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, just that financial advice about how to manage your money and make wise financial decisions. Yes, that's a book everybody should read before they hit 2021 because
Oh, that's
it'll keep you out of a lot of the trouble of unnecessary expenses and not budgeting and credit card debt. So, yeah, if I could have avoided all that, yeah, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
that's a classic book. That's
Mhm.
very nice choose. choice. Let's imagine that you could meet anyone in the world for a private breakfast. Who would it be and where would you choose to meet?
So, little known person here is Demas Habibus. Okay, so Demas, his name is Demas Habimus. And he is the Nobel Prize winner in physics a few years ago. And he is kind of the head of AI technology, developing AI for Google. And it is fascinating. I saw a interview with him on a television show a few months ago, and I was enthralled. It was just fascinating how he was describing how, with the help of artificial intelligence and the latest tools and tricks and how far they're advancing, he could replicate anything almost a real human could do. He could replicate the thoughts and the reactions and the creativity almost of a real human being. And it was fascinating to learn how just machines and thoughts, like you could say, like computer algorithms, can be manipulated by humans to think like other human beings, sometimes even better than other human beings. And he was exploring how AI technology is just taking over everything, influencing everything in the world. And it was fascinating. I'm a nerd and I was enthralled by the discussion. So if I could sit down and have breakfast with somebody, it would be him.
Uh, Daniel, if you could give our listeners one bold challenge or piece of actionable advice to help them take their career to the next level, what would it be?
Give yourself a goal daily. You just can't exist or subsist. There has to be a purpose to everything. Give yourself a goal, a daily goal that you want to accomplish. And the process of achieving that goal will encourage you, and you'll develop that self motivation, the self motivation that you need to accomplish the next goal and then the next one. So give yourself a daily goal, make it small at first, then accomplish it, and give yourself bigger and better goals. And eventually, those goals lead to dreams, and those dreams and that journey to discovering your own dreams and making them come true is that journey I'm describing of true happiness. That journey towards true happiness is the process of self revelation and continuously getting better and stronger and achieving and realizing your dreams.
Uh, Speaking of dreams,
Mhm.
do you are you working on any new projects right now, Daniel?
My latest and greatest was when I just wrapped up my brain injury gala, my brain injury gala, where I raised just a lot of money for the Brain Injury Association of America, and that's an honor to do that every year. I just wrapped that up, and I'm already in the process of preparing to make it bigger and better next year.
And for our standard questions, can you please give us your favorite life lesson quote?
My favorite
Life
life
lesson quote.
quote: "Just do it." In the immortal words of Nike, that sums up everything in life. Like some of my greatest accomplishments, my greatest memories just came from me just deciding to take decisive action and just jumping all in and just do it. Just do it. Just go out, have that attitude towards your dreams. Just do it. Just make them come true.
We have a new we have a viewer here, Jane. She has a question. It's hard to get away the thoughts of the imposter syndrome. It is possible to shake it off. What ways do you do besides telling yourself positive?
Remind yourself of what you've done, all you've accomplished to get where you are in life. Just if you ever had those feelings of inaccuracy, of being inadequate. That's the word I'm looking for. If you ever had those feelings of being inadequate, just tell yourself, like, remind yourself of all the things that you had to accomplish and to achieve to get where you are. That you deserve to be standing on whatever stage you've been blessed to be on. Never feel like you don't deserve anything that you've achieved, because true achievement comes with hard work. You can't achieve anything in life without struggle and hard work, and going through those struggles and putting in that hard work should help you overcome any feelings of not being enough.
And she says as well, even everyday habits can become burnout as well. Your words are comforting, Jane. Yeah. So thank you so much, Jane,
Thank
for
you.
uh, uh, watching. And
Appreciate that, Jane. That's beautiful.
Daniel, this has been so inspiring for everyone's watching. How can they find out more about you and your work?
Go to my website, Danielle, so it's my name, www.mynamedaniellebrazant.com. And you can order my book from there. You can just hear some of my speeches, like everything you want to know about me and more is on my website.
And we have a beautiful quotations here from our production. So stop letting unnecessary thoughts feed your mind. It's nugatory. Focus on your long-time goals and maximize your 86,400 seconds today, as Corina Mercado said. And one more, in every problem, there is a lesson to learn, an asset to acquire, a rest to restore, a bitterness to sweeten, a load to lighten, or a price to pay. From Joseph Ikichukwu.
It's
Ikichukwu
okay.
Joseph.
It's okay.
So, and that's it for our
Thank
192 of
you.
the PhD live stream. Thanks to our guest, Danielle Brazant. To stay updated and ensure you never miss a positivity hack delivered, follow Women on IT and turn on notifications to be alerted once a video has been released. Next week, we'll dive into a topic, a parent's guide to collaborative problem solving with kids. Join us to gain valuable insights from Dr. Karen Jakubowski. Oh, she's from the third time around. Thank you for our fabulous team, Herminia, Natalie, and Kim. And to our commentator, Jane, thank you for watching. And as always, our positivity quote comes from positive thinking only and goes look something positive in each day, even if some days you have to look a little harder. Today is your day to hack the future, hack the positivity you want. Thank you.